Good morning, guys. I'm Ashley with Grace and Goods Boutique.
And I'm Shelby with the Aria Event Studio.
And this is the Business Bestie Podcast.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, guys. We have a little bit of a more fun and also more serious episode today. We're going to talk all things motherhood.
Yes.
Yes. So if you guys don't know, I have one daughter. Her name's Maya, and she's 9.
I have one daughter, and her name's Ari, and she's 9.
They're besties.
Yes.
They go to school together. They're both going into 4th grade, and school's
crazy.
about to start.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so we've been gearing up, back to school shopping and all that stuff.
Yeah, you know, I'm like ready and happy, like school is back in and kind of getting back on a normal routine and things like that.
I'm
Because
excited for that too.
having summer break and having your kids home with you all the time, and then if you are a working mom, it definitely adds in some difficulties. Some great times, but some difficulties. So I know we're going to kind of chat about that today.
I also feel like we're running out of things to do. Like we've done the
I
summer
know.
bucket list,
Yes.
and now it's like, okay.
Yeah, for me, the last couple of weeks of summer break, I was like, I don't know what else to do, and I have so much that I need to get done for work, and we're just doing our daily, like at least getting out of the house, like let's run to the Dollar Tree, let's run to Target, let's go get lunch, let's get drinks, and honestly she loves that. So.
Oh yeah, both of our girls are Target and Starbucks crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's their perfect day.
Yeah, Ari actually also loves the dollar store, which is great because we can get by on a little bit more out of our budget. And then we like Big B Coffee. Have you ever been there? So we have one really close to our house, and on Wednesdays it's buy one get one for $1. So that has also become part of our like routine. So I can definitely see that sticking to while school's end, like getting out of school and going and getting our Big B drinks. So
We always go to. Have you ever had Bonbons coffee?
I have, yes.
So when it starts getting cold out, when the winter's coming, we literally are in there for hot chocolate like every day after school, and we do our little Bible study together.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
That's something we do.
Yeah.
All right, so we all know as women and mothers that we are not who we were before we became a mom, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. What things do you think in your life, like the major changes that you've seen either in yourself or the way you do things? Or...
Yeah, well, I'm going to get a little bit raw for a minute. So before I had kids and when me and my husband got together and we were talking about family and getting married and having babies and all the things, I think we both kind of always thought we'd have big families. So I always wanted lots of siblings. I have a younger brother, but we're 9 years apart. So growing up, I was basically an only child and he was basically an only child. It's been our adult life that we've finally gotten close. And my husband comes from a family of 3 boys. He is the middle child. So he definitely had that like sibling dynamic. So I always wanted at least 2, but like 3 or 4 kids. And then after we had our daughter, we definitely wanted more. It just kind of never happened. And I kind of look back and actually am kind of grateful for just having one because I actually don't know what I would do if I had more kids. I love being a mom. But for me, and this is sometimes actually I feel really guilty about this, I actually don't really feel like that is a big part of my life, being a mom. I'm obviously there for my child and I take care of her and I love being with her. But I would say being a mom is actually not my number one like identifier in my life.
Which is okay.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel guilty about it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not very motherly. Why am I not more motherly? Or like, why didn't we try harder to have more kids and, have a big family and things like that? But so when we talk about like what things have changed, I actually don't feel like, for me personally, I've changed too much. Some people have kids and, they stop working, and motherhood just does become a huge part of them. And that is amazing. But for me, it just really never has. But I will say my stress and my worry levels, about driving a car or even like sometimes going out late at night to bars or restaurants. I think, oh my gosh, I can't be out here because what if something happens? Like I obviously have a child at home. Also, the funny thing, I cannot watch scary movies anymore.
I don't watch them anymore either. And that used to be like
used to
my thing.
love scary movies, and I cannot. I like get scared so much easier now, and I really truly believe it's because I'm like, actually, that could really happen, and that scares me because I have kids.
I don't watch them anymore because I just don't think it's good for your like spirit. Like
Yeah.
just putting that stuff into your brain and into your body.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to be scared?
I know, and then you'd be dreaming about it.
But yeah, when I was younger, I liked
Oh
them
yeah,
too.
we always watch scary movies late at night with like groups of friends and stuff. But it's just, I think it's different too when you're younger. You just don't have those thoughts or stresses or worries or, you know, everything is just fine and you're invincible. But
Agreed.
you grow up whether you're a mother or not, and you realize.
Well,
you are not.
everything, you're a worrywart. I used to like get so annoyed with my mom because every time I had plans to go do something, she'd start listing like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And I'm like, Mom, you literally think of the worst scenario.
I know.
And now I am her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that happens. What about for you? What do you feel like the biggest thing that has changed since having Maya?
So I like that you were honest and said that motherhood isn't like your identifier. I would say I didn't want kids. Like I thought I was never gonna have children.
Yeah.
It was never on
So
my.
basically the opposite of kind of what I was wanting.
Yeah, no, I come from a very small family. I have one half sister and we're 16 years apart. So I did not have a big family growing up. So I'm used to that smaller clique. And I just didn't think I wanted children. I didn't like to babysit when I was younger. Like when people would hand me their baby, I would be so freaked out that I didn't want to hold the baby. So that was me before.
Yeah.
And then I actually found my motherhood, like, or my traits of being motherly
nature, yeah.
after I had Maya. And
Yeah.
I do feel like I am motherly because now when we're in big groups with our friends and their kids are running around, I'm watching their children, I'm watching mine, or I'm trying to interact with them and stuff. And I'm not afraid to hold babies anymore.
Yay.
So that changed in me. And then obviously the worrywart thing. And being less selfish. So I kind of grew up an only child since my sister was 16 years older than me and she didn't really live with us. So all the attention was on me. So now I've had to share that spotlight with my daughter, which she can have it. You know, like, go ahead and do your thing, girl, you can have it. But I had to be less selfish in life and, you know, hide in the closet and eat the chocolates. That's my selfish time now.
That's when you get your time. Yeah, definitely hiding in a closet. I know when I like, my big thing is like when I'm getting ready for anything, you know, when I'm in the bathroom doing my hair and makeup, I'm like, that is like my time. Like, don't come in and bother me, asking me a million questions. And I tell my husband this too. I'm like, please just get out of the bathroom. Like, this is my space. Take the dogs. Everybody go to your own space and leave me out of it and give me my hour.
I
know. Why does everyone want to be in there?
Everyone wants to watch you pee, I swear. All 4 dogs.
Yeah.
Maya, I'm like, am I just invisible?
Yeah,
Sitting
I know.
on the toilet?
I know.
But yeah, it's good to set those boundaries and have like, this is mommy's time because we need it as women. I mean, some women do lose their identity in motherhood. And I'm not saying that it's bad to be a stay-at-home mom or any of that thing. Obviously, that is a hard job and kudos to you for being able to do it. But I think we all need to remember who we are as a human and a person too, because our kids are going to grow up one day and then it's just us again.
Yep, it's just you and your husband or just you or, you know, and you won't have them and then we'll be bothering them and calling them and wanting them around because that's what my mom does now. And she's always calling me and I'm just like, oh my gosh, please stop. Like, but I know she's just like, you know, she's not with me every day and wants to be with me and wants to know how my day was and things like that. But
yeah, that's definitely going to be us.
Oh, it will be for sure. So I know you kind of talked about, you know, not being able to be kind of selfish. And, you know, there are definitely times where we should be selfish as moms and wives. But what do you think is there anything specifically that you feel like you've lost in motherhood, lost in yourself or?
Recently in the last year, and I don't think it's necessarily just motherhood, but life in general and running a business, I've put my friends on the back burner or my social life on the back burner.
Yeah.
I used to hang out with my friends every weekend. Even when Maya was little, like we would see each other every week at least once. And I don't think I've seen my best friend in 2 or 3 months this point.
Yeah.
So I think giving that part up temporarily is what I've lost right now.
Just kind of that little extra bit of social life. I mean, I know we see each other a lot, but the majority of that is because we do a lot of work together, so we're together. And then when the girls are together,
Exactly.
we're together.
Yes.
But it's just those common factors in your life right now. And a lot of times, that is kind of how it is with the friends in your life that you tend to keep, at that moment. It's because there's maybe something that you have in common, whether it's your husband's and it's football season. We have some friends that I see a lot of them when it's football season because our husbands are together. And so it's just kind of that like moment in your life that kind of coordinates with your friends. So
yeah. I think I've lost a little bit of my adventurous side or my freedom, like the ability to just hop in the car and go to 100 on the highway, you know what I mean? Not that I'm doing that, but just for an example, like I'm not as crazy or outgoing anymore as when I was younger before becoming a mom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I've lost that too. Like we went to Cedar Point over the weekend, or not the weekend, over the summer, and I'm not afraid of rides, but now that I'm riding them with my daughter, I'm like, what if it breaks? What if she falls off?
Yes.
And I'm on the ride, not even enjoying it. I'm just like, is she okay? Is she
just
still
so
strapped
worried
in?
about her.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
that you can't even really enjoy yourself.
so yeah, I've lost that.
Yeah. I feel like I would agree with that too. I feel like I definitely, so I take Ariel all around with me all the time. Again, with her being an only child and she doesn't have cousins or anything, so she's used to like growing up with like all the adults around, so she enjoys being around like all of our friends. Like she's always like, when's Vanessa coming over, when's Whitney coming over, or all of our friends that don't have kids either. She enjoys hanging out with them. But now that they're older, it's not so much like this, but I definitely miss being able to just go when you want, it's always now we have to coordinate for a babysitter or, you're a sleepover so that way you can go and do what you want to do. But again, I think that's kind of that like being selfish is like, I would never wish motherhood away. No, I love my daughter and I would be lost without her. She has taught me so much. But, I think you always look kind of back on that part of your life where there was no responsibilities. I remember right after we had our daughter, back before we had her, Eden and I would just be on the couch and we'd be watching a movie and we'd make a Walmart run at 11 at night because we'd want a snack or something. And I remember him making a comment. She might have been like 6 or 7 months old, and he was like, oh, like, let's run to Walmart. And I'm like, well, now only one of us can go. And I was like, and I'm not going by myself, so you got to go. He's like, dang it, we can't just leave. I'm like, yeah, no, that freedom is gone until she's about 16 or 17. We can't just leave in the middle of the night. But
it's all worth it. I mean,
is.
Like you said, you've learned so much about yourself and grown so much as a woman that they really are the biggest blessings in our life. So wouldn't trade it for the world.
Absolutely.
How do you think Ari influences the way you run your business? Obviously, you named your business after her, but
I truly I do a lot of the things that I do for her. Obviously, being a business owner, we've talked about this a million times. You go from that 9 to 5 and say, I want more freedom and more time for my family, so I'm going to start my own business. Well, now you work, 8 days a week, 100 hours a day. But it still is that freedom and that flexibility that if I do need to be able to go do something, I can, because most of the time I can, change my schedule. So I feel like she helps me stay grounded and influences me to, just know that sometimes things can wait, So being able to be flexible and be there for her is definitely a huge thing that I try to do. And also just having her knowing that she is always watching me. Yeah. She is literally always watching and listening to every single conversation that I have. So I try to be very intentional when I speak when she's listening, because it'll be 2-3 days later and she'll ask me about that situation or repeat back to me, what I said. She sits here and she's on tours with me, and I want her to hear and listen to the way I speak to people. Yeah. And, that kindness, that we show, our clients or our customers. I want her to, kind of take that away, knowing like this is how you treat people in general, but even from a business aspect. So I think being more intentional with my business and the way I kind of interact with the community, I definitely have tried to be a little bit more, focused on those things, especially when I know she's watching.
Yeah, and I can attest to that too in my boutique. obviously she sees me greet people every time they walk in and how I'm interacting with them when they're checking out, or maybe when they're browsing and I'm like asking them what their weekend plans are. You know, I think I'm encouraging her social aspects of her personality so that she's not afraid to talk to people and be outgoing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to show her through having a business.
Yeah. So how has being a mom changed the way you run your business? I mean, I know that kind of like ties in probably.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're working 24/7. I think if I didn't have her around, I would work 30,
even more,
30, 100. I don't know what numbers to throw out there, but so yeah, I think if I didn't have Maya, I would work myself to death. Like you said, she keeps me grounded. She brings me back to the real world. Yeah. And hey, there's more important things going on than running your boutique.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yep.
What do you feel like then for you would be like the most important thing that you hope Maya learns by watching you?
That you can dream big. You do not have to put yourself in the box that society tries to put you in. I remember growing up when I was getting ready to graduate high school, and I'm like, oh, I have to go to college, then I have to get a job, then I have to get married, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought this like white picket fence life was what I had to do, even though I had no drive and no passion to do it. And then I put myself in debt, putting myself through college that I don't even use anymore. I mean, I'm glad I learned what I learned in experiences and all that, but I want her to dream bigger and look outside the box. Like, I didn't even look outside of Fort Wayne when I was 18, 19, trying to figure out my future. And I just want her to know that the possibilities are endless.
Absolutely. I feel the exact same way. And I think we talk a lot about that too when we are talking to women. You know, so if we can instill that in our kids now and make them realize like, hey, like, yeah, you don't have to go to college if you don't want to. And maybe that's going to ruffle some feathers. But, you know, I went to college like I thought I was supposed to. I went into the medical field like I thought I was supposed to because it's always going to be around. It's going to be a good paying job, and you're a woman, and that's, you know, a nurse or a teacher. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. And again, I love helping people, and I thrive kind of on chaos. So, you know, and you can get those things obviously working in the medical field. And so I thought I was going to enjoy that so much more than what I did. I think just, again, that kind of like scheduled, like 9 to 5, you're doing the same thing every day. It just wasn't working for me. And, you know, I've shared that with Ari, and we joke all the time. You know, she's like, can I buy this? And I'm like, well, yeah, you're not going to college anyway, so you can use that money out of your college fund. So she'll always ask us when she wants something. She's like, I'm not going to college. You know, I'm going to just, you know, run the Ari, or I'm going to start my own business. So, you know, can I use $5 out of my college fund?
That's
I'm
so
like,
funny.
Sure. Yeah.
That's so funny. But,
you know, I tell her too, you know, she's still all over the place with like what she wants to be, as most kids at 9 would. You know, we've gone from a veterinarian to just working at the zoo to there was a short-lived time where she did want to be a police officer. And you know, I'm like, unless you're gonna go be a vet or, you know, a doctor or something of those aspects, you know, I don't really know if you need college.
You don't.
And again, I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers when I say that, and I think going to college and getting a degree and getting a great job is such a stigma that is from the past. I definitely think in society, we've kind of moved past that. I think entrepreneurs and owning small businesses has skyrocketed in the last 5 years. I think so many more people are taking chances. But it definitely was a thing that you were supposed to do, you know. And
I think it worked for a period of time. Like it maybe in the 90s, early 2000s, it was working. But in these last 15 years with COVID and the economy and social media, there's so many jobs just on your phone. Yeah. That people are doing. So.
Absolutely, and you don't need to have schooling for that necessarily. You know, I think I always tell myself, I think continuing education is very important. Yes. You know, if you're in a field or you're running a small business, you know, taking a business class, you know, getting a business coach, you know, taking some online courses maybe in your field if you're an event planner, or, you know, even retail and some, you know, sales and finances. You know, I definitely think continuing education is very important because you can't get better if you're not learning from somebody 100%. Better than you. But yeah, I think that box of that four year degree is kind of out the window.
Well, and a lot of people run into, oh, I did the 4-year degree, and now they're saying they're not hiring me because I have no experience. How do you get experience if nobody will give you experience?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing with our kids is kind of setting them up for that now, if they can understand it. You know, like I said, Ari has always been around adults her entire life. So I think her level of kind of understanding a career and jobs and business, she's kind of there on as high as she can be for being 9. But you know, we talk about it a lot, you know, and just kind of getting her ready for, you know, those expectations and, you know, what those steps are as she's moving through school.
Already a little entrepreneur.
She is.
She started a business already.
Yeah, I know. And well, now it's my responsibility, but yay, something else to
Add
do.
it to the list.
Yeah.
But speaking of Ari being so far above most kids her age with understanding entrepreneurship and business and just working in general, what are some things or something she's done that's like surprised you or you've been proud of? Or
Yeah, so talking about her starting that business, there was a local kids market that popped up that we saw in the, it started advertising in the spring, and, you know, I asked her if she wanted to do it, and she said yes, and so I was like, okay, let's kind of brainstorm, you know, like what you're gonna sell or what you want to do, and I think obviously the big easy thing right now is slime, so that was her thing. She wanted to make slime and sell slime. So the market got rescheduled, canceled, and so when the new date came about, you know, I kind of gave her the choice if she wanted to do the market or not, because it wasn't in our original schedule, in our original plan. It was a month after, you know, when it was supposed to be, and so I was like, you know, she's probably lost interest at this point, so I'm not going to force her to do this if she doesn't want to. And I was actually very surprised that she still wanted to do the market. Just, she was like, you know, I spent time on this, I spent money making this product, and I really want, you know, to be able to still sell this. And she was committed to that decision that she had made, and so I was really proud of her for following through with it. I'm not gonna lie, I did not want to get up on a Sunday morning and go do that, and I kind of tried to talk her out of it, but she was determined. And so seeing just like the excitement that she had when she was selling it and talking to customers that day, it like made me super proud. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I remember one day you told me you were getting ready for an event in here, and she helped you like tidy up the bathroom, and she folded the toilet paper.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so when I'm in here, you know, obviously if there's a half-used roll of toilet paper, we leave it on there for the next event. But I always stamp it so that way it looks fresh, it looks clean, and they know the bathroom has been cleaned. I just take it and like press it up against the faucet of the sink, and it leaves like a little stamp from like a round circle from the water, and it seals it. And I don't know if I necessarily told her that I did that, but she always comes and she cleans the toilets and wipes down the sink and takes out the trash and does all that stuff for me. And so we were getting ready, and I went to the bathroom before we left, and the toilet paper was stamped. And I'm like, did I do this? I don't remember going in. And I said, Ari, did you do that? And she goes, well, yeah, I cleaned the bathroom, and, you know, that's what you do. And so I stamped it so that way it's ready for the next. And I almost cried. I was so proud because, again, that's one of those things where it's like it makes you like you're affirmed that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, and also that they are watching you, and she's learning and she's understanding. And so taking that extra step to make sure your clients, your customers, your guests have a great experience, and she sees that. So wherever she takes that in life, you know, whether she's owning an event studio or a boutique or doing something completely different, you know, maybe she owns a pet rescue, you know, just knowing that taking that extra step, people notice that. And so I hope she remembers that and takes that with her as she grows up. But yeah, it just kind of gave me one of those goosebump moments.
Yeah, chills, because if you've never taught her to do that and she just picked that up, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I know Maya helps you a lot in your store. I feel like she is with you every time you have a pop-up or in your store. Yes. And I know she's on you too with social media a lot. So what do you feel like is one thing that has surprised you with her?
So I don't have like an aha moment kind of like you do. It's just watching her want to help me and initiate things without me asking. Like maybe something's out of order on my pop-up table and she goes around and straightens it up or something. You know, little things like that, wanting to help me, wanting to check people out and learn how to check people out. Something she does on her own outside of my business that I'm impressed with is her use of Canva and YouTube.
Yes, she's so good.
She's better than me. If I don't know how to use something on Canva, I'll be like, Maya, come show me.
Help me. Yeah.
So yeah, she's really good with graphic designing and coming up with creative ideas. So I'm excited to see where that takes her.
Yeah.
I try to encourage her to post on her YouTube every day. She doesn't, and it's fine. I don't force her to, but I'm like, you should do it. Like, you could really take off. You never know.
She makes a lot of videos, and I love them. They're so hilarious. She is so funny.
She is funny.
She is so funny. So I think, being kind of in that spotlight is probably super exciting and fun for her. And watching you talk to customers, I'm sure will help her, encourage her also to be more social and outgoing. Not that she needs any help. But.
Yeah, she's a social butterfly. I just never want her to lose her confidence in that. I feel like as we get older, we start scrutinizing ourselves and allowing other people's opinions or chatter to kind of make us smaller, and I hope that never happens with her.
Yeah, I think as long as you continue doing what you're doing and she sees that, I feel like her confidence will always be there, because I feel like you do a lot to like empower women, empower yourself, and empower her. So I think she'll catch on, and hopefully she keeps that.
Well, thank you. I think the same about you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the last question that we had for each other for motherhood. I hope you guys enjoyed it and resonated with you. I know there's a lot of you guys that are mothers and business owners or entrepreneurs that watch our podcast. So
if you guys have any questions or comments about the episode, please let us know below. If you have any questions for us about us and our kids or running businesses with kids, we would love to chat more with you. Or if you have a suggestion for a future guest or a future episode that you want to know more about or our experiences, comment below.
All right, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next Monday morning at 8 a.m.
Have a great week.